What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, I just want to take a minute and talk about the podcast. If you watched the first episode of the podcast, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you think you're going to watch more of my podcast, please go subscribe to my podcast channel. I made its own YouTube channel just for the podcast. It's called the Stolen Time Podcast. You can either search it or you can go to my profile, scroll down a little bit. There will be a section that says my other channels. It's linked right there. You can probably just hit subscribe right there. You might have to click the channel and then subscribe. But that's only if you think you're going to watch it. I don't want you guys to go and subscribe and then not watch the podcast if it doesn't interest you. I'm also going to be posting the first couple podcasts on my main channel. So if you want to take some time and watch them and then decide if you enjoy them, sure, go ahead and do that. The episode with my dad is already filmed. It was over 3.5 hours long, so we're going to split that into 2 episodes. Moving forward, the podcast episodes are going to come out on the first Monday of every month. The one with my dad, since it's going to be like a 2-part episode, it'll really be episode 2 and then episode 3, which is the same conversation, just cut into 2. Is going to be the first Monday of October and then the third Monday of October. So if I ever have a episode that's split into 2, that's how I'm going to do it. It's always going to be the first Monday, guaranteed. If it's split into 2, it'll be the third Monday as well. The episode with my dad, unfortunately, there is a little bit of an audio issue I'm dealing with while I'm editing it. My dad was a little bit too far away from his mic and the levels are kind of all over the place. I'm trying to get them all as close to perfect as possible. It's not going to be perfect when I post it, so just bear with me. We are obviously new to the podcast thing, and it will get better moving forward. Unfortunately, when I recorded the audio, all 3 of our mics were saved on one file rather than individual files for each person. So I can't raise the level of the whole audio file just for my dad. If I raise it, it raises me and my brother as well, and then it makes us way too loud. So it created a bit more work than I was expecting, and it's taken me a lot longer to edit it as well. But it is coming out. So October 1st will be the first part of it, or not October 1st, the first Monday of October will be the first part of it, and then the third Monday of October will be the second part of it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are up at our Orange County yard. Behind me here we have one of our internationals pulled in this bay. Rodrigo was here for a couple days with Anthony working on this thing. They pulled the old auger out of it. This auger has a couple holes in it, so definitely needs to be replaced. We sent the tag off of this spreader to the guys at Smith Spreaders, and they sent us an auger, but unfortunately the auger they sent us is either, well, it's definitely wrong, but they either sent us the wrong auger or they thought that this is the one that was supposed to go in it. Obviously it's too short and it doesn't reach. I believe it's like 8 inches shorter than this auger. So I don't know exactly what went wrong there, but after talking to them, they sent us a diagram and said they need some measurements for the right size of the auger, but this doesn't really make sense to me. It looks like there should be a plate here with an extension of the auger on both sides. If you look at the auger that we pulled out, there's a plate on this end, nothing extending out that side, and then this side here gets a bearing on that end. So I don't really know what he wants measurement wise. Let me get his phone number out, we'll get him on the phone and then get him the measurements, because obviously we need to get this auger ASAP.
What's up?
Hey, I have this diagram that I guess you sent my dad, and you need some measurements for this auger.
Yep.
I don't really understand what exactly you want measurement wise.
Okay, let me pick that back up here now. I want to check. All right, the X dimension is the entire length of the pipe. So end to end in the pipe. And the Y dimension is on the outside to outside of the plates. There's only one plate on that,
So yeah, we have one plate on one end, and then the other end gets like a bearing. It's just a piece of shaft coming out of this.
Yep. So give me the total length of the pipe. Give me me the length of the shaft, how much sticks out.
Okay.
And then I can go back from there, and because I'll give you an idler plate instead of a shaft welded in there.
All right, so you want me to, I'll put my tape, I'll hook on the end of the plate, and I'll go all the way to the end of that little shaft that slides out, and then I'll measure back from that shaft to where like the actual auger part starts.
Right. Fine.
Yeah, and that's all you need?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. I'll have my dad send it over in a couple minutes.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
All right, so he seemed to know that our auger is a little bit different than what the diagram shows here. So we will go on the end here, all the way to the end here, which is 129. I just want to get my square, make sure it's perfect. Come on. $129 3/16. So we're gonna draw this line here. Just gonna write this down for a second. 129 3/16, and then measure back to right there, 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. All right, so that means all right, so I just want to show you real quick the measurements I gave him. This is 5.5 inches from the tube to the end of this shaft. This bearing goes on the shaft there, and then down on the other side here is just a plate. So not really much we can give him here except holding on the end of the plate and pulling this measurement all the way down to the end. He knows that that's 129 3/8, which I wrote on here, 129 or 3/16, and he knows that the end of this is 5.5, so he can just subtract the 5.5 off of that, and he knows then where the tube starts for the actual auger, not including this little shaft on the end. So hopefully they'll have the auger made for us soon, and we can get it thrown back into this truck. But let's go into the other side of the garage real quick, and I'll show you an update on one of the other trucks. If you've been following my channel for a while now, you may remember we've been working on this Blue International little by little as we had time. The main thing is the frame. There was quite a bit of rust on the frame, but obviously we took the salt spreader off. The salt spreader is actually sitting right outside that back door. We took that off, sent the truck down to a place called Standard Springs. I believe it's in Patterson, New Jersey. Got new leaf springs thrown on the back end. We found cracks on maybe both sides, I don't remember. I do have it in a past video, but we got new springs on this thing, and then we went through and cleaned up the entire frame. Once Rodrigo and Anthony realized that the auger for the other truck was the wrong size, they switched gears and started working on this. It is a good step in the right direction to have this complete, though. We do need to get this truck up and running before the winter is here. It's the middle of September, so snow will be here before we know it, but obviously it's painted in gloss black. It looks very, very nice. Now, this is actually the first time I'm seeing it since it's been painted. It was painted last week, and obviously it's still covered in plastic. So it does look good. We can start working towards getting the salt spreader mounted on this again and ready to work for the winter. We don't really have too much time to mess around. So that is gonna wrap it up for this one. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Peace.